This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, so Linux Bastion host. So it's a way of connecting to the private instance, or in other words, you can connect to that instance which are hosted in the private subnet, which is highlighted in red via a instance which is in the public subnet, right? And we also notice that so private instances or instances residing in the private subnet will not have access to the outside internet, right? And if we need internet access, we are going to use the NAT gateway. And I also gave you the this one. Okay. And we also discussed how we can create, and I showed you people live that we were able to access to the internet from this server once we added the NAT gateway. Okay. So now let us proceed further. Okay, with the for some other concepts. So until so far we were hearing about firewall and the security groups. Okay, isn't it? So these are two types of firewall which we see in the AWS. Okay, the first one is the NACL, that is Network Access Control List, or someone they also call it as a NACL, NACL. Okay, so the abbreviation is Network Access Control List. Okay, or commonly known as NACL. So what are the main things we need to focus here is that this acts at a, so point number one, so this acts at subnet level. Okay, this acts at a subnet level. Okay, second one, this is stateless. The meaning of stateless is the moment you make use of the NACL, for every inbound you need to put the outbound rule. That is the restriction with this. But whereas here, once you allow for a inbound, automatically the outbound gets populated on its own. So you don't need to worry about outbound in case of security groups. But whereas NACL, you need to, if you use NACL, you need to explicitly specify inbound and as well as outbound. So that is the reason it is stateless. But whereas security group is stateful. Okay. Then the third point with respect to NACL is here every rule goes by the rule number priority. It means that any rule with the lower number, say for example, you have two rules with 100, rule number 100 and rule number 101. So the rule number 100 will have the higher priority than the 101, rule number 101. Rule number 101 will have the least priority. So rule number 1 will be discarded and rule number 10, 100, 100, that is 100 will be given priority. Okay, so that is, but whereas in the security group, here all the rules are evaluated. Okay, all the rules are evaluated. Okay, but what is the condition here? Then next one is here you can allow or deny, both you can do in NACL, but whereas in the security group you can only allow. Okay, so let me copy this entire thing here, because this is very important. These things are asked. Okay, in the interviews they are definitely going to ask what is the difference between NACL and security groups. So the answer to that question is here. So you can refer this. Okay. So I'm going to mention this side by side. Here this is not. Let me write the difference. This is security groups. Okay. So the difference is you can compare here. So this act at a network interface level. Network interface level or at EC2 EC2 level you can say, or server EC2 or server level you can say. Okay. Okay, this is stateful. Okay, so here no rule number, here all rules will be evaluated, all rules will be evaluated. Here you can only allow, you cannot deny. In the security groups you can only allow, you cannot deny. So this is the difference. Okay, these are the four differences. Difference between NACL and security groups. This is the 100% interview questions. In every interview they are going to ask you, irrespective of the number of years. Okay, so you should easily tell like this. Okay, stateless, stateful. Rule number priority will be given. Here no rules, all rules will be evaluated. You can allow or deny, but here you can only allow in the security groups. You are getting the point? I will show you in a hands-on what I meant by all these things. Okay, and there is a spelling mistake here. Rectify. Yeah, network interface level. So let us study each with respect to the differences. Okay, so now let me log into the AWS management console, which I have already logged in. And as you can see, every server will have us under security. You will have a security groups. So first observe the security groups here. So as you can see, there is only allow here. So for port number and the source. So what the security group has? So the security group rule ID, IP version, type of the protocol, okay, and the respective protocol, whether TCP or HTTP, and the port number or port range, and from where you want to allow. Okay, as you can see, if you go to the inbound rules, there is no option. There is only to allow. This means if you are adding any rule here, this means you are only allowing. That is the inbound rule. See here, inbound rules control the incoming traffic that allowed to each instance. So this is at the instance level. You're getting the point? Okay, but whereas if you see the outbound rules, all are allowed. See the outbound traffic, all protocol, all port range, all to all the destination, it is allowed. So this is the meaning of stateful. But if you compare the NACL, now let me go to the subnets. Okay, click on the subnet here and go to networking. Click on the subnet and see the network ACL. Now see here, inbound rules. Here all the traffic is allowed. You're getting the point. And outbound rules also it is allowed. If there is allow here and there is deny here, then you will not be able to connect. It's not like so. Explicitly you have to mention here. You're getting the point? Yes or no? For example, let me show you. with a live example. So as you can see, now I am able to log into this machine. Okay, so I have already logged in. Okay, see, you can see here I have already logged into this machine. See, 172.31.85, 85 and that 38. Okay, I have already logged in. That is because I have allowed port number 22 from anywhere. Okay, outbound also, see here, this is the server and this is a security group, and outbound also you have everything allowed. Now just watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to the networking and I'm going to the subnet level here and select it. Go to the NACL. I'm going to block my IP. Okay, because this is already running server. I don't want to disturb anything. What I will do, I'll just add a new role. Okay, with the rule number 99, which is lesser than 100. So I'm saying all traffic source, I'm going to give my IP address. So collect my IP address from here. So what is my IP address? So this is my IP, copy, and you can paste here. And I'm going to deny here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to deny only this. Okay, getting the point? Hmm? Or else let me remove this. Okay, before that let me show you what I meant by for every inbound there should be outbound. Now inbound we have allowed all the traffic from all the destination, correct? Now let me go to the outbound and delete this rule. Okay, let me remove this and save changes. Now what will happen, suddenly this connection will be gone. See, I am unable to do anything here. That is because the connection is entirely lost. Okay, now again, and what I need to do, I need to again edit, add new role, rule number I need to give 100, all traffic allow. So only then, see, it got disconnected. Now again I am able to, after this I'll be able to log in. See, so this is how powerful the network access control list is. Okay, now one more thing. Now I was able to log in, right? Now see here. Now again I am logging in. So perfectly I am able to log in. Now see the magic here. Not magic. Now I am going to the inbound rule. What I am going to do, I am going to edit. I am going to add a 99 rule number. For all traffic, I am going to deny which address. I am going to deny for my public IP. This one. Okay. So I am going to allow this. So now I am going to put here and deny. Yeah, so I'm going to put this /32. Got it. Now you see I'll get access denied. Sorry, connection timed out. I'll not be able to delete. Clear? Gone. So connection timed out. So once I remove this, okay, now you see, if you see, now if I only allow this rule, now I'll change it to allow, even then I will not be able to connect. Yeah, I will be able to connect because I have a rule number here. You're getting the point. Now I'll be able to connect. See, just see here. So now I will be able to connect, because the reason is here there is no restrictions. So inbound is also we have allowed for my IP, and outbound also for all the traffic we have allowed. Okay, so this is the meaning of stateless. Okay, and subnet association. Now all the subnets are following this NACL. So you can specifically create multiple NACL to the respective subnets if you want, or else you can keep it as it is. So this is what I meant by rule number. Now as per this rule, only my IP will be able to access this address. No other IP will be able to access. So that is the reason I'm going to remove this IP. I don't read this. I'm going to save the changes. Okay, clear? Yes. So that is the another difference. Okay. So stateless and stateful and subnet level and network interface level. This means network interface level or EC2 instance level means this security groups is only active, or this rule is only applicable for this server. I mean to whoever server this security group is attached. So to that server it is applicable. Okay. So that is the meaning of subnet level and the this one. So stateless and stateful you already know, and rule number I already discussed. Here all the rules will be evaluated and you can allow or deny. So all both the things I have, all the four things I have explained you. Okay. So security groups are for the resources, but whereas the NACL is for the subnet level. Okay. So that is the reason we have only one NACL, whereas we have two security groups. So this rules will not be same for this instance. So that is the reason we have different security groups. Okay. So this is the concept. Now the next concept is with respect to the, now these components will always be there in every VPC, like VPC CIDR, router, NACL, NAT gateway, internet gateway, subnets, routing tables. All these things will be, it is a story of one VPC. But in organization or in our companies, we will not have only one VPC. We will have multiple VPCs. So that is what I am going to explain today. Okay. So we will have multiple VPCs. So like this. So one, two, three, four, or many. Okay. So whenever I say Amazon VPC, you should straight away imagine these components. Okay, because I cannot draw this again and again for every VPC. So it is understood. So that is the reason I'm drawing a arrow here so that it is understood. Okay. So VPC means this. So one VPC means you have to imagine this entire diagram here. Okay. Yes. Clear? So it is a story of every VPC. But there might be same number of subnets or different number of subnets. It depends on project to project. Okay. Now these VPCs can be in the same region or in the different region. But whether they are in the same region, different region, or different AWS account. For example, now think that these two VPCs are in same region. So this is in region. Let me mention here. So this is in say Mumbai. Okay. Now this is also in Mumbai. This also is in Mumbai. But whereas this is in Singapore. This is in Singapore. And this is in different AWS account itself. So different AWS account. Singapore. Singapore or Mumbai, doesn't matter. So these are the some of the scenarios I am explaining to you. So whether the two VPCs are in the same region, same account, different region, and same region but different accounts. So the main concept here is no VPCs can communicate with one another. This is not possible by default. So there will be some scenario where this VPC wants to communicate with this VPC, and this VPC wants to communicate with this VPC, and this VPC wants to communicate with this VPC, and likewise this VPC wants to communicate with this VPC. But whereas this is not allowed by default, this type of communication is not allowed by default. Clear? So this is not allowed. So this is not allowed. You want to communicate, but this is not allowed. No. Then how we can communicate? So to solve this, you need to peer the VPCs. Peer the VPCs in the sense you need to connect the VPCs using the VPC peering option. That is the only way. But there is one condition to this. The condition is no two VPCs should have the same VPC CIDR range. For example, now you can pair this VPC, you can pair this VPC, you can pair this VPC, you can have this connection. How? By using the VPC pairing. So let me write here VPC pairing. So you can use this connection, pairing connection, and you can connect these to VPCs. Getting the point? Okay, this is Singapore. So you can pair this VPC. Yes or no? Yes. So you can use this VPC pairing. Similarly, you can use this VPC pairing. Similarly, you can use this VPC pairing like this. So once you do that, irrespective of two VPCs, whether they are in the same region, different accounts, same region and different accounts, they will act as if they are in the same network. That is the what is that is the benefit of this service, using this service VPC peering. So this will be very useful, and many organizations use this because in real time there will be different VPC. There will be UAT VPC. Okay, so UAT VPC, then production VPC, then pre-production, pre-UAT, test VPC, then development dev VPC, sandbox VPC. There will be different VPC, but sometimes there will be a requirement when one VPC wants to send some data to another VPC. So at that point of time, we are going to make use of VPC peering connection. You're getting the point? So this solves the problem we were facing earlier. But there are conditions. So what are the conditions? Conditions are for peering. Conditions for peering. Condition number one. VPC CIDR ranges should be different. For example, if this VPC is having 10.0.0.0/20, okay, so This cannot have the same. No. At least the second bit should change. So 10.100 like this. Then you can pair these two VPC. Okay, so that is the first concept. I mean condition. The second condition is, now there is a peering connection between this VPC and this VPC, right? And there is a peering connection between this VPC and this VPC. So using this VPC cannot contact with this VPC using this VPC, meaning the transitive peering is not allowed. You're getting the point? Say for example, this is point A. Think that A to A, and this is B, and this is VPC C. A to B is peering is there. That means A and B can communicate, and B and A can communicate. That is fine. Now B to C there is one peering connection. So that means B to C can communicate and C to B they can communicate. But A to C and C to A they cannot communicate. If they want to communicate, again there should be a peering connection like this, A to C. So from here to here direct peering connection should be there, because each connection is private. So that is called transitive peering. So transitive peering is not allowed. So the second condition is transitive peering is not allowed. Okay, if these two conditions are met, then definitely you can achieve the private connection between any two VPCs, whether they are in the same account, they are in the different account. Okay, so this is the concept. Getting the point? Okay, so enough of theory. Let us jump into the hands-on, then probably you will understand. Okay, so now this is one VPC. Okay, so as you can see, go to the networking. Now this is already one VPC. So this is the default VPC. Okay, so you can pair with the default VPC also for testing purpose. Okay, or you can create two VPCs and do the VPC pairing. It is one and the same. Okay, now what I'm going to do, this is in Northern Virginia. Okay, now let me go to the Singapore region. Let us me see whether I have any VPC. I don't have any instances running, but I do have some VPC created here. Okay, so as you can see, there are two VPCs. So my VPC one, this is the one I created, right? So what I'm going to do, so first I'm going to make Singapore VPC as a requester. So how to do that? So on your left hand side, there is at the last after NAT gateway, there is a concept called peering connection. So click here and create a peering connection. So you can give a name as my peering connection from SG. SG means Singapore to NV, that is Northern Virginia. Okay, so select a VPC, requester VPC. Okay, I'm going to select this one 10.0.0. Okay, fine. Then select another VPC to pair with. Okay, is it the next VPC? I mean the another VPC which you are going to pair, is it in the same account, same region? Yes, it is in my account. Okay, then select account. If it is in the another account, then you have to select this and you have to give the other account ID like this. But as of now, I have only my account to test. So I'm going to select my account and I'm going to say another region. So select a region. Yes, that region is Northern Virginia. Okay, and I would need the VPC ID. So the VPC ID is this. Okay, so this is the VPC ID. Okay, copy this and sorry, come here and paste it and then create a peering connection. Clear? Now again go back to the this VPCs and here go to the pairing connection and you will say there is a pairing connection ID request. See the CADR ranges also you can see. Okay, my CADR is different, so I can accept this connection because if you see my VPC, the my CADR range is 172. See here 172.39. So I can accept. Clear? So I'm going to go to the actions and accept the request. So the request region is AP Southeast one, that is Singapore. So accept the request. Okay. So now as you have done, so what I have done, coming back to the diagram here. So this connection I have established from A to B, but I need to tell the router, right? Whenever you are getting a connection request from this CADR, you should allow. So that information is very, very important. I need to pass this information. So that is the reason it is telling to modify the route tables. Getting the point? So go to the route table and allow add route and give 10.0.0.0/20. Okay, and you have to select peering connection. That's it. Okay, and one more. There is one more VPC. No, here. See here. It has two sider to 10.100. So that also you have to mention. So 10.100.0.0/20. And again you have to select peering connection and save. That's it. So will it work? No, because I have only allowed. In this case, I have only allowed for this VPC. But what about this VPC? I need to make an entry here also, no? To this VPC. Okay, so go to your VPC and go to this VPC, go to this routing table and go to the routes and edit routes and add route and give the CADR range, which is this one. Copy and paste here and select peering connection and that's it, save. That's it. Now we have done a two-way connection. You can test. So let us test how we can test this. So let us go to the EC2. This is Northern Virginia, this is Singapore. So I already have an instance in Northern Virginia. I am going to create one instance in Singapore region. Okay, so it is 0. So now let me create launch instance. I'm going to say peering demo. I'm going to select Amazon, that is enough. I'm going to select free tier T2 micro and Oka SG. Network settings, make sure it is in the VPC you have selected. So you have to select my VPC and any subnet. Okay, that is fine. Okay, any subnet, right? And auto assign public IP you can disable because with the VPC peering you can use the private IP to connect. Okay, so you can select this. Okay, or we are going to create the new connection. So SSH from Northern Virginia, right? So copy and paste this one and root. So you can custom, you can add 10.0.0.0/20. This is one rule, and another rule is you can add one more rule if you want. Okay, and custom TCP again custom 10.100.0.0/20. So both the cider of the this thing I have allowed. So click on launch. Okay, so 10.0.1.14. So this is the IP address. So now let me go back to the, now this is the story of Singapore. Now let me go to the Northern Virginia, and I have already logged in. Okay, so EC2. Okay, so this is the taxi flutter. Okay, so this I have already logged in, as you can see here. So they have already logged in, but I need to copy the what key, right? I need a key because this server I have created peering demo EC2 instance I have created using the this key. So first I need to copy this key. So exit from this instance and scp-i. Yeah, taxi flutter. Let me check the key pair of this. 1 second. Yeah, taxi flutter NV. So I'm going to use this and copy the oka-sg dot mb. Okay, then I'm going to copy here. So ubuntu at the rate this IP or host name I'm going to use. So enter. What is happening? Okay, I need to give the path also. So slash home slash ec2 dash user. Okay, slash home slash ubuntu. Yes, so now it is copied. Okay, so now I will go, I'm going to log in. Okay, if you see here again, this is having this permission. Okay, I'm going to change the permission. So how to change? So sudo chmod 600 and that's it. Now take the private IP of the instance which is in Singapore. So what is the private IP? 10.0.1.14. So SSH -i this key and then ec2 dash user at the rate IP address. Let me check. So security groups, it is allowed. Then go to the networking, subnets, route table. Yeah, 172.31 is, yeah, correct. 172.31 it is allowed. And similarly, let me go to Go to the networking. Let me check. I'm just cross checking whether route table entries are made properly. That's it. So go to the route table. Yeah, here also it is made. Yeah, that is local. So both the things I have added. Why it is not connecting? Second, it could be. mm, dot 0 dot 20. Just second. Yeah, correct. 10 dot 0. Active, and here also. Let's just say. VPC, 1 second. Requester is 852E. Acceptor is. Yeah, correct. Just a second, I'm going to cross check once again. Port number 22. Load. Okay. Local. Yes, this allowed. Okay, got it. So here I have given a wrong one. Wait a minute. So here you should give. This is Singapore, right? So you need to give this IP. 1 second, I'll show you. This one, this VPC. Let me just. Yeah, this one you have to give. So go here. So now, getting the point, right? So sometimes with multiple these things you may get confused. Like I got confused, right? So I'm able to log in. So what I had done is I have given the same VPC. I should have given the VPC of the Northern Virginia, but I had given the Singapore VPC SAIDA ranges only. So that is the reason it was not able to connect. But the pairing connection was successful. Okay. So once you check from the scratch, it will be useful for you. So this is a very, very important concept, guys. Okay. So I have allowed. So after allowing in the this one, because see here, check this instance already in 10 series. That means the VPC range is a 10 series. I have given the same this VPC only, so it is of no use. So but I'm trying to connect from the other VPC, so that is the reason you have to go from scratch. Okay, so now coming back to the diagram, what I did was I created one EC2 instance in both the regions, and before that I requested a peering connection from this VPC to this VPC, and I expected the peering connection from the another VPC. Then I made entry in both the routing tables with the respective subnets. Then I created two machines in each of the VPCs. Then I copied the key from this to this server of this instance, and then I from this VPC I connected to this VPC using the SSH. Clear? So as you can see here, see now I'm in a VPC. So I connected to this VPC, VPC B. Okay, you're getting the part. You can check here. See what is the date. So it is time is 15:39. Now check this. What is the date? So I mean both the dates are showing the same because yeah. Okay. So as you can see, the IP addresses are changing. Okay. This indicates that you are in a two different instances which are in two different VPCs. Clear, guys? Any doubts? Okay. So let me give you the official documentation. You will understand. AWS VPC peering. Okay. So this is the logic. So I'm going to put the link in the diagram so you can go through VPC peering. So I will put here. Yes or no? I'm going to put here. So you will get the official link. So you can read more about this. Got it? Clear, guys? Any doubts? Okay. So only Rajesh have given, Rajesh Kumar, everyone have given. Okay, good. So if there are no doubts, then I'm going to give you some assignments. Okay. So this I will give it later. Okay, so the task is you have to. Okay, so let me create a new task itself. So VPC hearing task. Okay. So create a VPC in Mumbai region with CADR 10.0.0.0/16. Okay, and subnets and two subnets each. Okay. Then create a VPC in Northern Virginia region with CAGR 192.168.0.0/20. Okay, and two subnets each. Okay, that means two subnets each means one is private and one is public. That is totally understood. Okay, so you have to follow that. Okay, in the northern region. Then next, what you have to do? Create a peering connection between Mumbai VPC and Northern Virginia VPC. Okay, Mumbai VPC and the Northern Virginia VPC. And another task is if you have two AWS accounts, like you can divide among yourself. Okay, this is additional task. Okay, create a pairing connection between Mumbai and VPC and test the connection. And test the connection. Okay. Now another is create a peering connection between two VPCs which are in two different accounts. Clear? So this task you have to do today, or by tomorrow you should be in a position to complete this task. Okay, diagram. If you want to diagram, I can by URL I'll give 1 second. Just a second. Yeah, I'm going to give this URL. Yeah, I'm going to give this if possible. Yeah, this is the pairing connection. Okay, do this, the URL, the insert image URL. Just a second. Yes. So clear? So you have to do this task. I'm going to share this with you. Guys, please complete this. So this is what I have done today. Only thing is this CIDR range is different. That's it. So today I have done this. You can. So these two VPCs can be in the same region, same account. and same account two different regions, and same region two different accounts. So you have to practice all the three scenarios. Okay, clear? You're getting the point? Yes or no? So you have to do this. So let me give you the link. uh, yes, so okay guys, so if there are no doubt, then we are good. Let me pause the recording and it will be shared by tomorrow morning.